So there's 6.7 million young men, according to the census, who are black under the age of 21. And as you point out, this program is for men of color, so also directed at Hispanics. But in terms of black men specifically, 6.7 million of them. And the president spoke about the specific challenges that those men face. Here he is, Tavis.
As a black student, you are far less likely than a white student to be able to read proficiently by the time you are in 4th grade. By the time you reach high school, you're far more likely to have been suspended or expelled. There's a higher chance you end up in the criminal justice system, and a far higher chance that you are the victim of a violent crime. And the worst part is we've become numb to these statistics. We're not surprised by them. We take them as the norm.
All right. Look, he's right, Tavis, but what is this going to do about it? Because when I read the fact sheet about this initiative, right, the initiative itself sounds great, but they're talking about an online portal that they're going to create and a new public website that's going to assess better statistics on young men of color. It was unclear to me exactly what they're going to do to change what he just said.
Well, it's unclear to a lot of us, I think, because the deliverables are not abundantly clear. They're not easy to follow, number one. Number two, as I was trying to suggest earlier, philanthropy is not justice. Charity is not justice. How do we get at reveling in, at respecting the humanity and the dignity of these young men, number two? And number three, the president recites these facts, and he is right. We've recited these things time and time again. But here's the bottom line. The value in this country of a black life does not have the same weight as a white life where these black boys are concerned. If the stats that the president cited today, if these were stats concerning white males in America, we would have addressed this issue as a nation long before Barack Obama, a long time ago. And secondly, it wouldn't have taken him 6 years to get to this if these numbers were the same for white males.
Why is he doing it now? Because of Trayvon Martin? Because of Jordan Davis? Why is he doing it now?
That's a question for the president to answer. I think there are a lot of people who believe that this has something to do with legacy building. And I'm not so put off by that per se, because I'd rather him do something than not do something. And I take the White House at their word that he and the First Lady want to work on these kinds of issues once they leave the White House. He'd be the greatest ambassador these kinds of issues could have. But it can't be just about legacy building. It's got to be about the humanity, the dignity, and the integrity of these young boys. And we've got to do more than just try to match foundations with corporations. That's a good start, but there's a long way to go here.